Joel Farabee and Travis Sanheim. For Farabee, that's a really tough surgery.
Yeah.
And I think that, safe to say I mean, what do you say? Like the player says he's good to go. You want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but you see as the season has gone on, the performance hasn't been there. And you have to say to yourself, I just wonder if this is, a symptom of the surgery that he had. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Get a good summer of training under your belt, get some time in the gym, get the strength up. And I fully expect to see a different Joel Farabee next season. Travis Sanheim, I have no explanation. I have no explanation to what happened to Travis Sanheim this season other than, it's just one of those years. And I think if there are Flyers fans who wondered about those two, and maybe more specifically Sanheim than Farabee, why, maybe there wasn't more interest in them, or why perhaps the Philadelphia Flyers and Chuck Fletcher didn't move them. I always came back with well, why would you trade them at their lowest point? Like, if I'm another team out there, I'm looking at Sanheim specifically and saying, okay, I don't believe that this defenseman is as bad as he's been this season. And make no mistake about it, he's been real bad this season. But there's a much better defenseman in there. We've seen it before. Maybe I can steal him from the Philadelphia Flyers. If I'm the Philadelphia Flyers, I'm saying, not a chance. We're not going to make a pennies on the dollar trade here for Travis Sanheim. How do you see those two this season?
Yeah, I'm more or less on board with your line of thinking. With Farabee, I do believe it's almost entirely the surgery, not because he's playing injured, but just because, this is a guy in Joel Farabee who never, he always was going to have to bulk up more, even setting aside the surgery. He's a string bean, and he knows it. It's abundantly clear. You just take a look at the guy. This was last year offseason was going to be a really big offseason for him in terms of gaining strength. And instead, not only could he not gain strength, he couldn't really do anything because he was pretty much, the whole reason why he had the neck injury was he was lifting a little bit and felt a twinge and then had to get the surgery. So I think a lot of it is just that he's worn down. He didn't really get the chance to build up his core, his strength going into the season. And it's a long season. The NHL season is pretty demanding. And I think he's just worn down. I think he'll be better next year. And I think Tortorella will ultimately come around on Farabee as a player. I think he plays, when he's physically able, he plays a style that Tortorella will appreciate. So I think Farabee, in the end, will be fine. I don't think the Flyers have any interest at all in trading Joel Farabee. I don't even think it's a sell low situation. I think it's we think Joel Farabee is part of our core. He's young enough to be part of this timeline, so we're not trading him, period. Now, Sanheim is fascinating because here's the thing with Sanheim. Sanheim was going to be a pending UFA this summer. Chuck Fletcher signed him to an 8-year extension, basically a year early, on the very first day of the regular season this year, before having any idea whether Sanheim was going to click with John Tortorella. And I think what you're seeing right now is I don't think those two are clicking. And it kind of makes sense. Like, I'm a big Travis Sanheim fan. He's had, objectively speaking, a really bad year, but I've always been a big Travis Sanheim fan. But Travis Sanheim, from a personality standpoint, he's not fiery. He's not, he doesn't have that John Tortorella attitude. Like Tony DeAngelo has that John Tortorella attitude. Travis Sanheim is more of a laid back type of guy. His detractors will call him soft. I don't think that's a fair word to use for him, but the people who don't like his game, they call him that because he's not the most physical. He's a little bit more of a finesse guy. And the thing that's always been able to save him is that good things happen when he's on the ice. He does a lot of little things right. He's really good carrying the puck. He's a good top four defenseman. Well, this year, the numbers have tanked. So he's not doing what was making him good in the first place. And then you go to Tortorella, and Tortorella's like, I don't love this guy's attitude. This doesn't fit with the attitude that I want my guys to have. So now he's got a guy who's signed for 8 more years, a contract that doesn't even kick in until next year. And I don't know if Tortorella knows what he's going to do with him. So it's a fascinating situation because you talk about selling low. I mean, yeah, I think there are quite a few teams around the league that think quite highly of Travis Sanheim. I 100% believe that. An 8-year contract is a long term. Like, I don't know who is trading for him. So this is a situation where, like, Tortorella and Sanheim may just have to figure this out because, he's got a $6.25 million cap hit going into his mid-30s. I don't know how you trade that deal. And it was a mistake, I think, on Chuck Fletcher's part to sign him to that big of a deal that early before knowing whether Sanheim was going to mesh with Tortorella, because the fact of the matter is that, as I said, their personalities, just logically, you're going to wonder if that's going to work. And Sanheim struggled, and I don't think their personalities are working, at least so far.